I hope you had a really good week. I'd love to hear about it, so you can let me know. Our Would You Rather for this week is, would you rather have your very own jetpack or your very own robot? So you can let me know. We're going to start off our song time by singing Every Christian Has Two Homes. Every Christian has two homes, one here and one up there. Heaven is our second home, a mansion is prepared. There's a home down here and a home up there. Here a home, there a home, I've got two homes. Every Christian has two homes, one here and one up there. Alright, we're going to do it one more time. Nice job. We're going to learn a new song this week, and I'm not going to play my ukulele for it. And this is a song called The 10 Commandments. And it goes like this. 10 Commandments, no one can keep them all. 10 Commandments, even on your best behavior. 10 Commandments, no one can keep them all. 10 Commandments, and that's why we need a Savior. 1, have no other gods before me. 2, don't bow to man-made things. I want to sing. 3, don't misuse God's name. 4, don't forget the Sabbath, make it a habit. 5, honor your parents, Clarence. 6, do not kill, it's God's will, Jill. And keep 7, don't commit adultery. 8, do not steal. 9, do not lie. 10, do not covet. 10 Commandments, no one can keep them all. 10 Commandments, even on your best behavior. 10 Commandments, no one can keep them all. 10 Commandments, that's why we need a Savior. All right, we're going to do it one more time, and I want you to sing along with me this time. 1, have no other gods before me. 2, don't bow to man-made things. I want to sing. 3, don't misuse God's name. 4, don't forget the Sabbath, make it a habit. 5, honor your parents, Clarence. 6, do not kill, it's God's will, Jill. And keep 7, don't commit adultery. 8, do not steal. 9, do not lie. 10, do not covet. 10 Commandments, no one can keep them all. 10 Commandments, even on your best behavior. 10 Commandments, no one can keep them all. 10 Commandments, and that's why we need a Savior. All right, good job. We're going to keep working on that one, and when we finally get to come back together next month, we're going to do that one in person, and I'm really excited about it. So, but for our Bible lesson this week, we're going to talk about Elisha again. Remember, we talked about him last week. Remember, I had the oil in all the jars, and the oil just kept coming and coming and coming until it saved this lady. So this week, we're going to talk about a different lady that Elisha helped. And this lady, she would see Elisha come through town, and she'd be like, man, this poor guy, he comes through town, and he sleeps on the ground, and we're gonna make a bed for him. So she in her house, she makes this bed for Elisha, and in this little room, and she gives him a desk and a little lamp, and it's all really nice, and he really appreciates it. And every time he comes through this town, he stays with this lady and her husband. And so Elisha says to his servant, and his servant is this guy named Gehazi. And Gehazi, he follows him around. He follows Elisha around. He's a helper to him. And so Elisha says to Gehazi, Gehazi, is there anything that we can do for this lady? She's done so much for us. She's been so nice. What can we do for her? And Gehazi said, well, Elisha, I mean, she doesn't have any kids. Maybe we could do something about that. And so Elisha says, perfect, that's what we'll do. And so Elisha went and talked to this woman and said, look, next year you're going to have a son. And this lady was like, okay, like, I mean, I'm old. I've never been able to have kids before, but okay. And so next year, that woman had a son. And she was so excited. She loved that little boy so much. And he started to grow up, and one day he was helping his dad out in the field. They were probably farmers, and so they're working out there, and all of a sudden the boy just, he goes, Dad, my head hurts, Dad. And so the boy's dad sends him to his mom, says, go see your mom. And the mom holds her son all day, trying to make him better, and the boy dies. And of course this woman, like, it's just horrible. This lady waited all her life for a son, and this son is gone. So immediately she gets up, she goes to her upstairs where that bed for Elisha is, and she lays the boy on the bed. I'm going to go get Elisha, she says. I'm going right now. Let's go. And she rides her donkey as fast as she can to get to Elisha. And so Elisha and Gehazi are in another town, and they're working on some stuff. They're being prophets and whatever. And all of a sudden, here comes this lady, and Elisha goes, Gehazi, that's the lady that helps us all the time. Gehazi's like, yeah, it is. And Elisha's like, go find out what she needs. So Gehazi runs up to the lady and says, what's the matter? And Elisha's close behind, so Elisha says, is everything okay? And she says, everything's okay except that my son is dead. Can you please, Elisha, come do something about it? And so Elisha, he turns to Gehazi and he says, okay, Gehazi, you're going to take my staff, and you're going to go with her. You're going to take it and you're going to go with her, and you're going to lay the staff on the boy's bed, and he's going to be fine. So Gehazi goes, okay. So Gehazi and the lady ride back to her house, and Gehazi puts the staff, he lays it on the bed with the boy, and nothing happens. So Gehazi comes back to Elisha and says, Elisha, I don't know what I did wrong, but it didn't work. Your staff, it's not working. So Elisha says, okay, I'll come. And so Elisha comes to the woman's house, and he goes up there, and my stick just fell on the floor. That's okay. He goes up there, and he lays on top of the boy. He puts his face on the boy's face, and his hands on the boy's hands. And slowly the boy comes back to life. And then Elisha picks up the boy, and he brings him downstairs and hands him to his mother and says, here you go, your son is alive. Now, that's pretty amazing, right? This little boy was dead. And Elisha raised him from the dead. But what I want us to think about this story is, just like last week, when the other lady went to Elisha and said, I need help. This woman also, when she had a problem, she knew where to go. She went to Elisha and said, I need God to help me, and you're the one who can do that. Now, for this lady, the only way that she could really get to God was through the prophet Elisha. But for you and me, the way that we get to God is through prayer. And so when something goes wrong, it doesn't have to be a big thing. We can just go to God and say, hey, can you help me with this? And God doesn't get tired of us coming and running to him. So that's our story for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again next week. Bye, friends.